So far in this chapter, we've been studying all about rational expressions. We've learned how to simplify rational expressions. We've learned how to multiply and divide them and to add and subtract them. Now we're going, and then we learned how to solve rational equations. Now we're going to move up to inequalities. Now, before we get into the rational inequalities themselves, let's just review solving an inequality problem so that we can remember how this works. We're also going to review what it looks like on a number line and interval notation. So this will be quite a bit of review for us. Okay, so here we have a problem that says solve this inequality. Negative 3x plus 1 is greater than 13. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to solve for x. So we're going to subtract 1 from both sides, peeling things away from x to get negative 3x is greater than 13 minus 1 would be 12. Now we still want x alone, so instead of multiplying by negative 3, we're going to do the opposite, which would be to divide by negative 3. So on the left-hand side we have x. On the right-hand side we have 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. And don't forget that whenever we're working with inequalities, if we multiply or divide by a negative number, we have to flip the inequality symbol over. So our answer here would actually be the x's less than negative 4. Now, this is part of finding our answer, but usually we write our answer in what's called the interval notation. In order to find interval notation, it's very easy to look at it in the form of a number line. So let me draw out a number line here. I'm going to put 0 here for reference in the middle, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 places over here to be my negative 4. Well, all of the x's, or all of the numbers that are less than negative 4 would be to the left of negative 4 on our number line. So that's usually not a problem. Here's where we need to do another little bit of review. You remember the brackets and the parentheses? We use a parenthesis when the endpoint is not included. We use a bracket when it is included. Now, we use a parenthesis in this case because we just have less than. Whenever you have less than or greater than is whenever we use parentheses because the endpoint is not included. You're just bigger or smaller than. When we would use a bracket is if we see less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Then we would use a bracket because we could have equality in there also. So in this case we just have our parenthesis. Now to write this in interval notation, we can read it right off of the number line. Remember, we go left to right. So starting here on the left, this number would be negative infinity. And infinity always gets a parenthesis because we don't know where it is. It's just this thing out there at the end of the number line somewhere. So we would use all of the numbers starting at negative infinity and going all the way up to negative 4. Now we've already established that negative 4 would get a parenthesis because there is no equality here. So our answer would be all of the numbers between negative infinity and negative 4.